What's up there, SEO pros? My name is Chase Renner, and I help online marketers get more conversions and rankings online. More specifically, people who like to do search engine optimization. So, what we're doing today is we're doing a live audit of a website called well-sent.com, and this is an online e-commerce store that sells different products for immune support and a bunch of cool stuff. So what we're going to do is we're just going to dive right into it. I haven't really looked at the site too much, just besides like the homepage and a couple of these other pages. So if you're joining us in the future, you're new to this channel, just want to say welcome. And if you're joining us again and you've already been to this channel before, just want to say thanks for coming back and watching this. So let me just minimize this chat, and then we're gonna dive right into it. Cool. So first thing we're gonna look at is the homepage, of course. It's where we start with all of our audits. We're just gonna look at a basic overview of the website. The cool thing about the homepage that I've already seen is that there's a good amount of content, but like in most cases, there isn't really much siloing going on in terms of where this site is linking to besides like the products, which that works, that's fine. I mean, those are still links, but it might be nice to have some text on here talking about the other important parts of the site. I mean, it kind of does here. I think this at least goes to the products, so that works. I mean, that's good enough. And we also have breadcrumbs, which is good. Let's just check out what CMS this is on. Hopefully it's on WordPress. So we'll do WP, and yeah, we're on WordPress. And this is actually Divi. That's really cool. So we're just going to check out the basics. I always start with the Moz bar. So I'll click on the Moz bar, click on the on-page elements, and see what we got here. So we got a page title. That's good. 54 characters, could be longer. And with any page audit, I'm going to bring up the notepad so I can make sure I'm keeping track of what's going on here. And the one thing about the title is that we don't want all caps like this. I'm assuming that they actually have the brand as all caps in each title. Now, unless it has to be that way, I would probably try not to do that. But let's actually look at the logo. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it's in all caps. I'm just going to say, if possible, unless for branding, try not to do all caps on title tags. Google just doesn't really like that. I mean, I understand if it's a if it's a brand, but if you can stay away from it, that's what I try to do. One of the cool things is this does have SSL, which is great. I'm gonna go to the Moz bar, back to the Moz bar. Page title, other than that, doesn't look too bad. A physician-supported holistic apothecary. It's kind of a hard word to pronounce. But that could be better depending on what they're already getting rankings for. And one of the things is I don't think I actually got Search Console access, so I can't really see what we're getting clicks for organically. Let me go in here and double check on that. Let me just grab this URL, do a search. I don't see it. We'll just do www. Yeah, so that's one of those things where I can't really see. I mean, I could plug them into SEMrush and check. Let's see if we can see anything there. Go like that. $275 organic search. We got some rankings, but in terms of that one ranking, that's not the main ranking. So, I mean, we can always experiment with the homepage in terms of what we're trying to rank for. So, in terms of local, these are more important. The homepage is what they're trying to rank for. In terms of like national or e-commerce kind of stuff, you can get away with having maybe not as optimized titles because you're actually going to be getting most of your traffic anyways from your content marketing and from your product pages. Not to say that your homepage isn't going to get a lot of traffic, because it's probably still going to get a lot of traffic for your brand, but it's a little bit of a different approach. So with this, I can only see so many results, but That is one thing that I would want to look at, and I probably should have asked for Search Console access, but oh well, we can still do this without it. We got a couple comments in here. We got Seed said, yo Chase, big supporter here, keep doing your thing. Thanks, man. Romaine said, hey Chase, glad to see you live. Thanks, Romaine. And Lauren says, simple SSL plugin is what I use, super easy. Pietro says, interested to see if they have shop scheme markup. Yeah, so we will check that out pretty soon here. So I'm going to go back into here. We see we have some H1s, no meta keywords, that's good. H2s looks fine. Bold and italics could be used. Well, the italics are being used, but bold could be used. Not a big deal if they're not. Alt text looks good. General attributes, we got a 1.3 second load time, that's good. Markup, we got no schema markup, so we're going to want to do schema organization markup on the home page, since it's not a local business. Schema organization markup on home page. We also don't have micro formats, but that's fine because we'll probably be using JSON LD. HTTP status looks good. And so that's pretty much it for the Moz bar. We got the Sumo Me plugin on the side, I believe this is, or that's add this, one of the two. Looks fine. So the homepage, other than that, doesn't look like too bad. Maybe, I mean, the call to actions look good. I'd be interested to see if heat maps are being utilized. Utilize heat maps if you aren't already. And then another thing that, of course, we want to check is what conversion rates look like. And if there are no conversion tracking, if there isn't conversion tracking, make sure to set that up. So, and if no conversion tracking implemented, need to start. And then we're going to look and make sure that there's analytics on this site. So we'll do UA, go. And yeah, there's the analytics right there. So we do know they have analytics, so that's good. Hopefully they have Search Console enabled as well. So we're going to pretty much skip the homepage for now and kind of go into some of the other stuff, because the other stuff is probably going to be where our main KPIs are going to be. And so I'm going to go straight to the next tab, which is shop. I'm just going to click on it. And here we have kind of a doorway page. You'll see it's just really a page for links for the other places, which is fine. But I would say for the products page, we should definitely have some sort of description if possible. If not, like for branding, like maybe they don't want the text above that stuff. At least maybe put some text below it or something. You don't have to, but it just kind of looks a little bit low quality when there's no text on the page whatsoever. And you really don't want it to look like a doorway page to Google. So I'm going to say on this page, try to add some text either before or after the, the different links. And then on the shop, which is good, we do have the drop down for the other links, which is important. So we do need to look at the permalink structure as well. So what I'm going to actually do now that I remember that is I'm going to open this up in a new tab like this. I'm going to go site : and then the name of the site. So we got about 500 results, and I don't know if that's how many pages are actually on the site. So what we can do is we can actually grab this URL and then see if there's a sitemap, which I'm pretty sure there is, sitemap.xml. And we can see on the posts, we have about a good amount of pages. That's good. I mean, it's pretty decent. Let's go over. That's definitely not 500. And then on the pages, we got a few. So we know that there's a lot more being indexed than the actual amount of pages on the site, which is natural, but this is a lot. I mean, 500. So we do want to see what's happening with what's being indexed. And because one of the big things that happens with e-commerce sites is that they get a lot of duplicate content because everything's being indexed. And you don't really want that to happen all the time. Some of the time also you're going to want to use canonicals to fix that. So we're going to look at that right now. A couple of people are saying, Jason says, Chase, have you ever tried to optimize a Weebly site? They don't have nearly as many SEO options like WordPress. No, but I've SEO'd Squarespace site, this site, and I've been able to get really high rankings with this Squarespace site. Ronit says Weebly isn't good for SEO. Yeah, I'd probably try to stay away from Weebly. Romaine says, yeah, I've never get good results with Weebly. So of course on the site :search for the website, we're getting our basic pages here, but we're more interested in seeing what category pages are getting indexed and whatnot. So this is also something I see a lot. So people get testimonials, right, on their sites, but they actually create like these separate pages that are getting indexed as testimonials like this. And if you find this in a search, that's not really going to provide much value for you. So I would really try to get rid of these different, like, not get rid of them, but at least de-index or no index them, because it's like, what kind of value is this providing to searchers or to Google? I mean, the other thing is that these testimonials are probably going to be elsewhere. So if we go like this and we just do product testimonials, it probably has all these people. So that's just duplicate content. So I'm going to say no index these pages. So I'll say on testimonials, no index the extra, the duplicate content at testimonials, no index duplicate content. So yeah. So I'm going to cancel out of there. We're going to keep looking through the search. So those are all the testimonials. And also on that testimonials page, there should be review markup. Let's make sure that there is. So we'll click on that. Go like this, grab it, go to structured data testing tool. And, whoops. Enter our URL. Taking a while. And these are all just H entries, so not testimonials. So our review markup. So we want to put review markup also on testimonials. Add schema review markup. Okay, we're going to keep going. So now it looks like we're also indexing the newsletters, which can be okay. Let's go into here. The whole point of getting rid of or not indexing certain things is because you don't necessarily want to have a bunch of content that people aren't going to actually find useful. So if people aren't actually like going to this stuff, Google's going to kind of consider, by you having a bunch of low quality content, that your overall site isn't very high quality. So that's why you want to be really careful about this stuff. So in terms of this newsletter, Healing Complex Illness, Dr. Dave, I mean, this is fine. It's just that I would probably not, unless you're sending people to this link, which it looks like you are. I don't know, you're sharing this afterwards. So this is kind of one of those things where I actually have to figure out what's going on with this. But I would try to make this like, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is fine. It's just, yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, it's really debatable. If people are actually finding this really useful and people are, you know, it's just that I feel like the title tags need to be more optimized. There needs to be a better theme in terms of the optimization strategy for Google on what you're going to be doing to get this to rank and what you're actually trying to rank it for. Like if you're trying to actually rank it for like, you know, health and wellness news 2016 or something, then yeah, then do that. But it just right now, October newsletter illness is not really a theme, in my opinion. It's kind of just the theme for the website and for the users, which isn't really helpful for Google. So unless I could actually see the analytics for this, I couldn't really say anything. But maybe I'm just going to say keyword research for newsletters. because like all of my content's kind of like newsworthy, or some, or not all of it, but like if I go to watch, I'll show you this. So if I go to Chase Reiner, and this isn't necessarily a newsletter, but if I go here and I go to like the news that I talk about, it's all geared towards certain things. Like for instance, like things that are around news. Like, so if this is going to be newsworthy, it should also be newsworthy in terms of what people are actually searching for in terms of news. Like, because people could benefit from this, right? I hope so. Best performance nomination, yada yada. So I don't know. This, yeah, this is like one of those things where it's kind of a hard subject. We'll just keep moving along. All right, we got more products. So these are all the different products. So this is how they look. So we're gonna cancel out of here. So we got the product. We got the related products, which is normal. This is the supplementary content on the side, and this is the main content. And we got the blog archives. So it looks like the blog is actually not only indexing category pages, but it's also indexing date pages, which is totally unnecessary in my opinion. And I'm not trying to like say that that's like a bad thing to do, but the only time you really want to use these dates in your blogs is if you're actually going to be like a news site. And this doesn't look like a news site. This just looks like a site that's going to be doing like sort of categories. So if I click on one of these, our story plus ways to get frankincense. So yeah, I mean, you can see here it's like this isn't really a news article. This is just something that's going to be a category. Also, the text needs to be a lot bigger on this. The text is way too small. So I'm going to say make text larger on blogs, articles. I'm gonna honestly say no index the date archives and just switch to using categories, because it's so unnecessary. Like, why do you need to have dates, categories, and then also categories? Like you'll see right here, if we go to the actual product that we were on before, which was over here, you'll see product categories and then newsletter archive, which this is where you could put your categories. It could literally just be topics and then the categories like this. But having the actual dates is really only going to hurt you, because you have to think like when these show up in Google, like at least I mean, you can keep the dates, but at least no index them. But if you have these show up in Google and people are searching for things around the dates, you're gonna have lower click-throughs, because people are gonna see these things and they're gonna be like, oh, this was written like last year, and which is gonna ruin your click-throughs, and it's gonna ruin your rankings because you have the user experience aspect. The other thing is that because you have category pages and then also newsletter pages, now you're gonna have duplicate listings. You're gonna have this, and then you're also gonna have the what's it called, the actual category with the same exact content. So that's why there's like 500 pages being indexed right now. So I'm gonna say take those out. You know, it's up to you, but I would probably take those out unless you only do it for like news related things. So now looks like we have another page that's being indexed called press, which this looks like, I'm not sure what this is. This looks like some sort of so I guess this is like just links to a bunch of different articles. It's hard for me to kind of understand what's going on, because I don't necessarily, like if I was coming off of Google and going to this page, I would have absolutely no idea what I'm looking at. I mean, it says includes well sent in her must-have travel essentials, New York Times bestseller author. I mean, this isn't clear. So, I mean, with any of the pages, it really needs to have a clear theme. That's what I'm going to say for that. So we're just going to go to another product again. I'm just going to go to this one. So we have a product, we have the description, we have the related products, we have the testimonials, which is cool. Hopefully these are reviewed, marked up, because this will actually be a perfect time to start getting aggregate rating for these things. So I'm going to do structured data testing tool again. Go here. E-commerce audits can be really confusing. Jason says, Chase, you recommend updating blog posts that have a date and provide an updated on date. How often? Every few months, yearly? So yeah, I mean, of course you want to update your blog posts if they're providing value and you're already getting rankings, or you want to increase your rankings. Say they're on like position 9 or something, you want to relaunch them. That's, you know, something that you can definitely do. I would put updated on and take out date created, so that you can keep showing how often it's been updated. And then how often you update it is up to you. I mean, some content's evergreen, so you don't really have to update it that much. Lauren says, how did you get to that Google page where each page is numbered? Right here. I mean, it's at the bottom of Google. I'm not sure what you're asking. Okay, so product markup, looks like there is product markup. There's price, there's type, offer, which I don't think is the right type. Name of the product, but there's no review. So definitely want to start putting that review markup in the product. So I'm going to say for all products, you're going to want to do review markup for aggregate rating, which is the star rating you get underneath. Let's go back to that product because there was a couple other things we were looking at. So we got the add to cart category, that's good. Health and wellness. So we have product categories, of course, and then categories for blog posts. And so everything's being linked in here too, which is good. This is too much linking though. This is unnecessary amounts of linking where it doesn't really make sense because nobody's clicking on this stuff. So, I mean, you can do this, but it kind of looks a little silly. I mean, they can keep that, but it's just like, you want to do it more for user experience. And this kind of looks like if somebody was reading for your balance formula and release, and it looks like they link like 3 times to balance. And I don't know if these are the same things. This one's not even found. These are all broken links. So I'm going to say, so what happens with SEOs is they know that like linking and passing link juice is important. But what happens is they end up just linking to any page possible without thinking of a link silo. And what happens is like, so say you have 30 links going to one page, right? Say it's about SEO 2017. And then you have 20 links going to another page, which is about Learn SEO 2017. Well, because those are so similar, and the anchor text is probably also going to be very similar, you might end up having Google look at these pages as similar pages and then have one page cannibalize the other page. So that's why it's really important to figure out what you want to rank with your link silos instead of just linking to a bunch of random stuff. Like, oh, I'm passing link juice. Like, I know that's what people want to do, but like, you need to figure out what your cornerstone content is. And your cornerstone content is going to be the main pages that you're trying to rank. So like in this case, it's probably going to be her product pages, her category pages, maybe some really important blog posts, her homepage, her testimonial, whatever it is. But you shouldn't have too much cornerstone content. So you should really figure out what are the main places in my site that's going to be driving conversions or traffic. You know, of course, on bigger sites, this is going to be a lot more complicated. But on sites like this, or even sites, you know, with 100 pages or less, it should be pretty easy to figure out. Okay, so fix, whoops, where was I? For all products, you're going to want to do product markup, or sorry, review markup for product, schema review markup for products on certain pages, on pages like fix broken interlinking, and also reconfigure link interlinking strategy, because that's just not going to work out how they're doing it with all these different links going like that. And you should only be linking like probably 2 to 3 times per 1,000 words, at least internally, and then also 2 to 3 times per 1,000 words like externally. Anything over that, it's kind of spam. There are certain situations where you can get away with it, like Wikipedia links a bunch of times, but it should really make sense to the person who's going out and, you know, reading these articles. Or do you really want them reading your stuff and then clicking on 50 links? Like, is that realistic? So I'm kind of going on a rant right now, but it's just crazy, like, how people don't really think about these things. Okay, so we're just going to look at the product/product. See what comes up. So /product is the shop page, I believe, right? Products page. So /product, I guess, redirects to products page, right? Products, yeah, okay. So that's fine, I guess. Although I'd probably just have that to products. That's kind of confusing. I don't know why they're doing that. So we're just going to click into here, dental health. And we got all these different things, which there should be like a description for each category, really. So for each of these, for each product category, like this, you should have text explaining what this is about. I mean, even if it's at the bottom. So we're going to click onto this. We got this. There's no links going on here, which is fine. I mean, a little bit different. The category is right there. If we click on that, that looks good. So it's just going back there. So I'm just making sure like this isn't insane like what was going on before. Testimonials. Looks good, except there's no review markup, which we've already covered. So a lot of this stuff's going to overlap, but it's good to uncover the initial things to figure out like the main theme about what's going on, and then moving on to other things once you figure out, okay, this is pretty much, we know all these pages need review markup now. We know all these pages need to focus on a better link silo strategy. We know all these pages need to have descriptions in terms of the category base levels. I mean, it starts to become really reoccurring, and then you can start skipping on to other things that are probably going to be more important. You don't have to worry about as much. So, so we pretty much know what to expect with these other pages, so we're just going to move on. For the testimonials, we already kind of covered. We just need to have that review markup going. For the About Us page, it looks like the About Us goes to a drop-down of 3 different people, which looks fine. This looks good. So yeah, this isn't too bad except for this anchor text Facebook page here. You would want to actually have that whole thing highlighted. Not that big of a deal. So other than that, I mean, that's okay. I would probably remove this share sidebar for this because it's not really helping. So I'm going to say remove share sidebar on pages like About Us and testimonials, because who's going to be wanting to share that stuff other than maybe the people who wrote the testimonial. And then let's actually see what this looks like. So if we share this on Facebook, let's see what the OG data looks like. So we'll do plus Facebook like that, and the OG data actually looks pretty good, so we don't have to worry about that. Although they could share a video, but it's fine. I mean, who's gonna share it? Go back to blog, and these are all the different posts for the blog, and the blog should have a drop down of all the different categories. So blog should have drop down of different categories, just to show Google that those are the different important categories of the site, and then of course introductions to each of those categories as well. You might also want to remove these 0 comments. It's easy to remove. That way it doesn't look like all of these articles have 0 comments. Remove 0 comments in article previews. And then let's check out what these blogs look like. So we'll read more. Looks good. I like the blogs. They definitely look cool. Kind of weird. Oh, sorry. I must have just clicked a link. Sorry. So, oh, that actually clicks into that. I don't know if I like that. Because that kind of makes like an immediate click over to, you can do that. I don't know. So we got the text, we got some links, looks okay. The link's kind of messed up there, but, and then we got the comments underneath. So, I mean, honestly, I would probably, for all this content marketing, I would probably focus less on selling. I mean, you can make the sells in here without doing like the huge, like, call to action like this. And focus more on like getting like a newsletter going, because there's a lot you can do with getting people into a newsletter, because you can repurpose them into a Facebook group. You can email them any of your new blog posts. You can have them enter contests. Email lists are really estimated on what they can actually do for your online business. So I'm going to say consider starting an email list. There are many great benefits for this right now. All right, what are we at time? We're at 31 minutes. Okay, we're going to keep going. Ronit says benefits should be more highlighted. Romaine says, do you recommend AMP on blog for e-commerce? Oh yeah, so probably also AMP if they're not doing it already. Consider AMP if you haven't already. We're just gonna say implement AMP if you haven't already. And then there's just like basic stuff for the schema, like for the blog post, we'd want to have article markup. So we'll just check that out with structured data testing tool. So just an H entry. So yeah, we'd want to do article markup, schema article, or blog markup for any blog posts. Let's keep looking at so one of the things about the permalink structure as well is you'll see it's blog. So I don't know why I keep seeing this, but the correct way to do this is to have /blog /category /post. And this is literally just /post. So you want to restructure this so that it makes sense. So I'm going to say on articles, actually I'm going to go back to the part where we're no indexing the date. So where is it? No index the date archives, and change permalink structure to represent an accurate, or we'll just say permalink structure for blogs posts to site /blog /category /post. And then probably for the products too, if that's not what's happening. I'm not sure if I looked at that before. Let me go back over there and open. Go like this. Product category, product. See, this looks fine. Product, you might want to do product and then product category and then this, but these are really long. Also, the URLs are really long. Sparkle natural teeth whitening whole mouth detox. So, I mean, if that's the whole actual like keyword, then I guess it's fine. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The URL should really be under like, ideally like 3 to 6 at most words long. So try to keep URLs 3 to 6 words long. I mean, 3 is like optimal if you can. I mean, there are of course longer URLs you're going to want, but anything over that, over 6 is just starts to look really spammy. What was I saying? Also, the on page for this stuff, sparkle dash dental teeth whitening. So I'm also going to say for the titles, for title tags, keep the keywords, the main keywords, to the very left of the title tag. Now this doesn't matter as much with like the new RankBrain algorithm, but in this situation I'm going to say do that because Google still looks at like what are you actually trying to rank for, and then when people type in certain queries, they want to actually find what they're looking for, hopefully, right? So it is at least important if you are going to be doing this to start considering like putting your main keywords in the front of your title tags. But I don't like that sparkle dash dental. Just doesn't look right. So we're gonna go back to blog. Romaine says, is AMP possible for product with no JavaScript? I don't know. I wouldn't know what to tell you on that one. I just use a plugin for AMP. Oscar says, yo Chase, what was the site you used to generate Google reviews? And it's Plepper. So we're going to go back to what's being indexed. So we're going to go through here. Also, what needs to happen is that the main pages that are getting traffic probably need to be re-optimized or at least looked at. I won't cover that right now, though, because that's just going to go into another thing. Also, there's probably author pages on this site getting indexed, which we don't want because it's not really necessary. Gosh, there's so much stuff. So I think if we just type in author, we can find it. If we put in like in URL, I think. So if we do in URL. Yeah, so you can see right here, author is also being indexed with no result found on that. So I'm going to say no index authors. Index author archives. Let's see what else is being indexed. We know the date's being indexed. What else was it? We got in URL. We got author. We got category. We already know that's happening. We got date. We already know that's happening. When I already recommend we don't index that. And there's a couple other. There's portfolio. Whoops. Did I spell that right? Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, that's right. So nothing for portfolio, which is good. And I think there's one other one. I don't know what it is. Oh gosh. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. So, but basically just getting rid of all of the unnecessary amounts of things being indexed so that we can really just have the main things that need to be indexed. And then also the silo structure with the links be optimized as much as possible. You'll also see in this testimonials, it's kind of like this feed of testimonials, which now I kind of see why they're doing this. But so they can just add them as posts, which I understand. But I would just really either not index this. I mean, this is good to have indexed. I would just add schema markup and no index all the ones that are being posted. So yeah, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much what I can see on the site. I don't know what else is going on. I can look at this from more of a user experience standpoint. One of the things is like all these social media platforms. In terms of e-commerce, social media is huge, and it looks like they already have a social media marketing person. I don't know what they're doing for the social media. I know that there's a lot you can do. Looks like the social media marketing is going pretty well for Facebook. Hopefully they're actually clicking on these likes and then inviting these people afterwards to like the page. If we go over to Twitter, Google Plus, we'll just check out these different profiles. Pinterest, Instagram. Looks like that one's not going. So yeah, Pinterest looks like they're just doing crazy stuff on all these different social media marketing platforms, which is really cool. YouTube, coolest dog trick. So I'm gonna just do a basic audit with Beam Us Up to look at like the SEO basics, and then also, you know, they should be doing keyword tracking if they aren't already, but a lot of that can already be done from what they're getting from existing rankings from whatchamacallit, from Search Console. I'm gonna open up Beam Us Up, put in the URL. Lauren says, when I type my company name in Google, it shows my site. Oh, sorry. Somebody said the volume's too low for them. Is the volume too low for you guys too? Lauren says, when I type my company name in Google, it shows my site, and then under it, about us in another category. I don't know what I changed, but I used to have my menu listed under my website. What changes that? Does Schema? Schema can help with that if you use basic like JSON LD from that plugin I was showing you guys, the JSON LD plugin. Really, it's just kind of Google picking up what it thinks is important on your site. So if you have like different things being linked to from your menu or from your homepage, Google's going to pick those up and then show them to the people who think that, you know, those pages are important. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, so right here we can see we got some blocked robots here, which is fine. Lost password. A couple titles are too long here. H1s are missing on these pages. So these are just basic things they can start changing right away. Meta descriptions are too long. Meta descriptions missing. That can really help them out. And then they could also be start doing some off-page SEO in terms of like automated outreach, or whatever they want to do for that, through Pitchbox or something. I'm not even covering off page right now. I'm just doing simply on page. I could look at their links, but that's not something that I really want to spend the time doing right now, because I think it is still kind of a site that doesn't have too many links to it. I can just double check that. Just do Ahrefs. .coms, 4.nets, 6.orgs. So the link distribution is from anything from 30 down, and you probably want more higher authority links than that, but you can still rank articles without having super high authority links. We're just waiting for that Beam Us Up to finish crawling. So these are the different links we're getting, or websites we're getting links from. So canonical same, meta description's missing on these, meta description's too long. So I'm just gonna say on the roadmap to start fixing basic SEO problems like meta descriptions, meta tags, meta descriptions, meta tags, titles, and titles being too long or short will include export of problems in attached file. H1's missing. That's pretty much it there. Maybe scan. We should also scan for broken links on the site. So we'll go back to the site, grab the link, and see how many broken links they have. So broken link checker, and I think actually Screaming Frog does this. I'm not too familiar with Screaming Frog, but we could try it out. Go back to SEO apps, Screaming Frog. But I also know there's a lot online that you can use, so I'll just enter the URL. Google thinks I'm a robot because I've been, oh no, not this CAPTCHA. Because I keep putting on all those site colon operators, or site operators. Broken link checker. D4. So I think this is only a page by page basis though. There are some really cool tools like SEO, what is it? SEO Centro, or no, not SEO Centro, it's this other one, SEO Power Mapper, which does some crazy stuff, and I wish I had the money to afford it. SEO Power Mapper. But I had the trial once, and what it does is it does this crazy layout on your site, and it shows you like the things on your site that you don't even know existed, like what's going to be hurting your SEO in terms of like JavaScript and all this crazy stuff. So it also shows you like how your site architecture looks on your site, and there's a bunch of cool stuff. So I guess this does do broken links. I would also tell them, say, also consider getting rank tracking tool with audits, with automated audits like SEO Profiler, because SEO Profile like automatically shows you if there's broken links or anything happening with your site that's not working very well. Let's check this out. So URL. So yeah, this does show you broken URLs on all these different pages. Cool. So Screaming Frog only shows so much stuff, but if we go to, I think it's internal, we actually want to look at links if they're somewhere around here. URI. Yeah, I do not know Screaming Frog that well yet. I'm gonna look more into it because it is a pretty cool tool, but just a lot of stuff, and the layout's kind of confusing to me. So I'm not gonna spend time on that, but we have all the links we need here, so that's fine. I think that's still going, so we're just gonna go back to BMS and see if we can get that export. 553 out of 580, so we're almost done. I'll read some of the comments. We got TFPC services, any harm in interlinking from H1 to H2 tags? I don't think there's harm. I don't know if you necessarily want to do that. I mean, I feel like that might not, maybe H2 tags, that's probably fine, but for H1 tags, I don't know about why you'd want to really do that. Because you're kind of using your H1 tags usually as like the first thing that people are going to see when they hit your page, and it's like, why do you want them to click on something else to go somewhere else if it's on your? I would stay away from linking from an H1 in my opinion. Jose says, what are you using to do keyword research? Do the keyword audit? I didn't hear it clearly. So I would just check their keywords through SEMrush just to see what was going on. I'd ideally want to get their Search Console in the future to re-optimize what they're doing, or even see what they're doing to maybe give them suggestions on what they could be doing better. But I don't have their Search Console, so I wasn't able to do that. Lauren said, I filled out all the info for the schema plugin you recommended, and it isn't showing up for some reason. I tested it, and I had an error for a image to tall. Would it stop from working? I don't know, man. I'd have to look at it for you. If you want, I can help you out if you want to schedule something on my website. Mr. Ekatasi says, I got my check from Amazon affiliate 2 days ago, and I have to pay taxes, but I don't do it. All right. I'm going to export all these to an XLS. I'm going to put it to my desktop and say export for well sent. We'll see what that looks like too. Click on it. So these are all the links. These are the title links. And I mean, it doesn't necessarily show you which ones are specifically too long. You could just sort by anything that's a certain length just by going through it. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure that out, but that's how you could do it if you wanted to. Whoops, get out of here. And then for the links, they can definitely fix those. I'm just going to grab those like, whoops, is there an export here? Oh, it's still going. I think there's an export at the end. So you can also see this, like this is the Power Mapper. You can see like, this is kind of like Beam Us Up or Screaming Frog. It's just kind of a different layout. Except you can see like different things like errors, accessibility, compatibility, search, problems with search, standards. So if we go to search, you can see this page has more than one H1 element apparently. So we can go in there, see if it actually does have more than one H1. So we'll go there, go H1. Yeah, so there's two H1s. So you want to remove that from the home page. So I'm going to say remove there's two H1s on the home page should and there should only be one. If we go back to SEO Power Mapper, page has no H1 element. So this page doesn't even have an H1. We're going to say add H1 tag to this page. And then we see some lesser important things like a keyword related to gambling. Make sure, so apparently there's some sort of keyword in here in terms of linking that's related to something that might be considered spammy to Google. I don't know how that's true though, because it doesn't, that might just be picking up weird stuff. No meta description tag found on these pages, so I'm going to say add these. Well, except these are product category pages, I think, right? What is this? Click on that and open it. Whoops. Yeah, so these have no meta tags for some reason. So but Beam Us Up picked that stuff up, so we're fine. And then we can go to the other stuff like standards, which is all has to do with like HTML standards and whatnot, usability, accessibility, and so on and so on. And then their other tool, which I was telling you about, actually does a bunch of other stuff too, because they have two tools. So we're going to cancel out of that. And that's why I like cross-checking with all these different tools, because some of these tools are more based on like overall site audits, and then some of them are based on more like on-page audits. Like if we were to go to SEO Centro, like this, and then go to where is it? Hold on. SEO Analyzer, and then we put in their website, which is this one. This is going to give us a lot more information than just like the entire site audits you get from Beam Us Up. But because we're not going to be doing like, necessarily a huge audit on one page, I mean, like, you need to have different tools to do different things. Like this is going to be focused mainly on just one page, if that makes sense. Craig Anthony says your channel's come a long way. Hats off to you, man. Thanks, man. I would take my hat off to you as well, but I'm not wearing a hat right now, which is weird because I'm usually wearing a hat. So you can see all of this basic stuff in terms of the on-page checker. For the one page looks okay, except for the multiple H1s. The content, 576 words is good. Keywords, these are the keywords that are showing up. Social media, they have good social media. So like from this checker, it doesn't look too bad. But from the overall part of the site, also gzip compression should be considered. Are they not using compression? I don't think they are. So consider using compression. Gosh, this is still loading. There's so many broken links, so it's really good that we found these because you definitely don't want to have all these broken links. Also, I'm going to say consider compressing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So volume is low for Yoti too. Sorry about that. Let me turn that up for you guys. How's that? Is that better? Or how about that? Is that better? That's probably better now. So if we go back to server looks fine. No emails found, which is good. I don't know if they're using any caching plugins or what their overall site looks like. We could go to like Pingdom, I think. What is it? World-class website monitoring. Maybe this isn't it. There's a tool that lets you actually see individually each page, how each page is doing in terms of speed. But the site looks not too bad. Like if I just go to the Moz bar, I can see that the site speed isn't too bad. 2.6 seconds, that's about average. So yeah, after we export the broken links, I'm gonna say, that's pretty much as I'm probably wanting to cover for this audit. I mean, I think that's a really good start. We got a lot of good stuff here. I mean, this is definitely gonna help them by doing this basic stuff. And then I'm also gonna say, look at Search Console and either prune pages that aren't providing value to search engines, or relaunch content. Also look closely at keywords getting indexed and see if there are some in positions 5 to 9 that can be pushed up higher with basic on-page, off-page. Well, not basic off-page, I mean. Yeah, well, that's fine. Ronit says tools.pingdom.com. Okay, yeah, so let me check it out. Tools.pingdom.com. Boom. Test from Dallas. Wow, we have 11 people in here and 11 likes. Exactly. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. So we started the test. It says remove query strings from static resources. So a lot of this stuff I probably won't even know what that means because this is like all technical stuff. Some of you guys might know what this means. And it looks like they're using WooCommerce, which is cool. So I actually don't even really know how to use this tool. I just know of it. I just basically go through the different pages and see if they're all similar and then assume that they pretty much have similar load times unless there's like huge multimedia on the pages. But it looks like the performance of the site's pretty good. So I'm not too worried about it. So I'm just going to add at the end, fix broken links and 404s, because there's probably 404s, I'm going to say implement 301 redirects wherever necessary. Do I get a download of this? It's completed. I don't see a export here. So apparently I'm gonna have to go like this and grab all this stuff. Broken links are I think I can just take the URL and then grab it. We'd also probably want to check for misspellings on the site as well. The only tool I know that does that is SEO Profiler. So I guess I can't get a link for this. This is really lame. So I'm just going to say plugin links can be found by running a scan here. Fix 89 broken links and 404s. Okay, so I think that's good for now. It's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna basically send over this video and this audit to the woman that we're working with, and hopefully she gets some value out of this. She might want to actually hire me to help her with some of this. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that in the future. Hopefully you guys found some value in this as well. And I probably will do tonight, actually, in an hour or so, maybe even sooner. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on siloing on my own site because I haven't set up the siloing on my own site, link siloing. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, definitely stop on by. And until I see you guys next time, happy SEOing.